Hey YouTube, welcome back for part 2. Today we're going to end up putting that nice silver tranny into the Impreza. Okay, so I didn't film this because I did this yesterday. It was a bit crap outside, so decided not to film it, but I got my lightweight flywheel on in there. You can see there's holes drilled in here. Torque those bolts, those 8 bolts down. If you're doing this, I believe the torque spec is 55, 56. I'll post it in the video, foot-pounds on it. And just a recommendation, always use Loctite on your flywheel bolts. Just an extra layer of protection so you don't end up having a flywheel come flying through your hood. That's never good. And I have my clutch. Again, it's not a stage 1 or anything. It's a pretty standard clutch. This isn't a super powerful engine. Really good for what I need. Not gonna, as long as I'm not doing any burnouts. I will do burnouts. I should be good. And these bolts here are torqued to 11.8 foot-pounds, and just go around and try to place it down evenly. And your clutch kit, if you're doing a clutch kit, will come with the alignment tool, and that's what I use to align that. Makes putting the transmission in 1000% easier. If you don't have this aligned, you will not get your transmission in. So without further ado, I guess let's start pounding away and getting this thing put back together. Alright, here we are. So this is the original transmission. Again, nothing wrong with it. Probably lower kilometers than what the one I'm putting in. I mean, it might be the same. I don't actually know with the new one, but this one's original to the car. The key difference here, as you can see, that is a female, that is a male. So I have to switch to this type of axle. Other than that, I just clean this up. Good note. If you are doing the first clutch job in your car, your clutch kit should come with this thing here. It's called a release bearing. Always put a little bit of grease on the place where this rides here on the, I don't know the technical word right now, but yeah, where the bearing rides. I always put a little bit of never sees between here and here, just a smidge, and then also grease around here. Not too much on the input shaft, because that'll fly everywhere and get on your clutch, and then you have a slipping clutch. So some grease on there, not too much. And here's this fork. I also put a little bit of there to prevent, this is never sees. I use that for to prevent squeaking when you put your slave on, because that gets annoying, and better do it now than you have to do it later. So other than that, let's drag this beast under the car. Okay guys, now it's been a bit, but I'm going to stop right here. As you can see, the transmission is butted up. Now it took me a while to do this because again, I'm doing it myself, so having a friend actually helps. Having you on the ground and a guy up in the engine bay guiding you, showing you which way to tilt it really helps, so you don't have to keep doing laps like I was. Tip to getting these in is it'll have the studs on the bottom, obviously, to slide it on. And once you get that to that point, then the next hardest part is getting the splines of that input shaft lined up. So always have this, your transmission in gear, and then what I do is, because the output shaft is so far in the steel and you don't want to hurt it, I just put my rear drive shaft in. That way I can turn and pry the transmission forward at the same time, and then you'll actually feel it click in, and then you can keep prying it until it's all the way in. And then don't be surprised if you have to draw it in. Just try to draw it in nice and straight so that you aren't binding anything up or hitting your bearing on the inside. And then once you get it drawn in, make sure everything's flush, and then go around and hand tight everything. Your starter, don't forget your starter at the top and bottom. I do that right away because they count as belt housing bolts. And then after that, you can put your frame up, and basically the reverse of what we did in the last video, and I'll keep updating you as I go. Okay, so it's a new day. Got distracted yesterday, so I didn't get as far as I wanted to. I left off test fitting my axles for the Outback that I have for this car. And truth be told, they are a little bit short. I'll show you what I mean. You can see here, we're in here. And we are all the way forward into the spline there. But as you can see, it's sitting a little bit off. I can slide this in, and then it'll slide out of the spline here. What you want is it to fit properly. If I do run these, I won't run these for very long. And once you get the proper axles, and I go to put them in, these type have holes in there. You can see that there. The axle has a hole in it as well. I'll show you right here. See the hole there? There'll be a roll pin, which I have safely attached to this magnet over here so I don't lose it. You put those in with a hammer, and then you're good to go in the axle department. So today I'll just be finishing up the rest of this, and hopefully I get to drive this today. Okay, so pretty much almost all buttoned up here. Just to go ahead once you get to this point, make sure everything's bolted down. I got my slave bolted down, the wishbone bolted down, make sure all your connections on your starter are done up correctly. And now I can go ahead and put my filter on, my cover on. Just gotta make sure that I can fill this properly first. So down there, and you can't really see because my light is way over here. Down here, that yellow stick, this is my dipstick to fill it up. So it is empty because I drained it before I put it in. So I gotta do that. I think I should do that before I put in my filter. Yeah, I definitely will do that. Yeah, so I'll fill it up, then I'll button this up here. And then after that, all I have to do is jack up the back of it to do up the drive shaft because I'm not as skinny as I once was and I can't fit back there. Then after that, we should be ready to take this thing for a rip after we put the front wheels back on. Next step is to throw in the exhaust, but before I do, I did notice that in my haste to get this done last year, I did mess up some welds, so I got to clean that up. There's one spot here that I gotta do, and then I'll just go over it before I go and muscle this thing back into the car. Then I can put the wheels on, then I can take care of everything at the back, and we might be able to drive this. Okay, it's been another hour or so, but everything's buttoned up top. Everything is buttoned up at the front below. The wheels are on. I checked all my bolts. Sensors are plugged in, all 6 bolts, and the 7th one there for the exhaust up here are done. Tranny is in. officially. So now I'm going to put the front of the car back on its two wheels and then go to the back, finish up my drive shaft, finish my exhaust, and then we can take this for a drive. Okay, so that's that. Rear drive shaft's done. All on bolts are double checked. Just gotta check the tranny fluid, and as long as it's full, I should be able to take this thing for a ride. Just gotta torque the wheels, and fingers crossed. I hope she's faster. Probably gonna have to learn how to drive a manual again because the lightweight flywheel will affect shifting, because the rev hang won't be there at all virtually, so I might have to get used to that. But other than that, thank you for watching. I really hope this works out. I really hope I feel the difference. And yeah, here goes nothing. All right, here we go. So power. That's a good sign. My other key. And clutch is in. Seems good. Little ornery starting up, but because I haven't been driven in a while. And this computer's probably got to relearn. Oh wow, that's quick. Okay, well, let's go for a drive. All right, here goes nothing. Oh yeah, definitely feel the difference. All right, we're gonna start in second gear here. Around 4,000 hours, it's 5 minutes 4. Okay, so far, so driving it around, it's so much easier to downshift. Ridiculously easy. Like from fourth, third, like it's that much quicker, which I absolutely love. That's exactly what I want.